Today I'm reviewing the ATX Corner Pull Station, and I think this machine can be best summed up by two reviews. I'll start with the bad one first. Now please note, this review was done in German, so it's been translated, so it's German-English, so excuse me if I lose a bit of it. First of all, the positive. I've had the device for over 1.5 years now and use it almost daily. So far, no defect itself. The device is great in terms of functions and space use, and the shipping/packaging was also top. But it bothers me a lot that the plastic rollers swallow up a large part of the energy. This means if you do a tricep press or side lift on the cable, not even half of it arrives in a stretched position, especially with lower weights. And when at the beginning of the exercise, it is relatively difficult. The available metal rollers would provide a remedy here, but there is another 700 euros to spend. So great device, but no comparison to the running characteristics of a studio machine. Now, for the good news. This is one of the reviews one of our customers left. Best piece of equipment I've ever purchased for my home gym. Such a versatile corner station with minimal footprint. Really happy with the ATX Cable Corner Station. These reviews pretty much sum up this machine. If you buy this machine to get the most out of your space, you'll be stoked. In terms of exercises per footprint, it's off the charts. We're tight for space here, and this is just amazing how it sort of just sucks into the corner. When you're not using it, you could store, other pieces of equipment in this little space here. But if you buy this gym and expect it to perform like a commercial functional trainer, you're going to be a bit disappointed that it just doesn't feel the same. I'll address the part about the cables and pulleys later in this review. Firstly, I would like to share my own experience. I'd planned on reviewing this machine a lot earlier, but I've been flat out with all sorts of other jobs. But there's no way I would have thought that I'd still be training on this. But I was up here last night and have racked up over 2 months at least of consistent training. Now, my program was using the MPX 500 Smith machine over there, and this machine for upper body. I've also been using the vertical leg press as a finishing exercise for legs. So I could easily substitute that for something like split squats or something else which requires no machine. I'll put the workout in the comments if you're interested, but it was just a basic push-pull superset for upper body and just squats with some variations for legs. When I started it, I was just sort of playing around, but sort of got myself into a groove and I started making some progress. And so I just thought I'd stick at it for a while. What makes this relevant is that both these machines take up bugger all space and could easily sit along the wall of any room. This is what makes this machine so handy. Now, onto the machine. The lat pull down and seated row both feel the same as the LPL 700. Now, if you don't believe me, you can come in and try both because they're right next to each other. Now, the corner pull station uses almost an identical design and running gear to the LTO 650, which has been around for many years in many forms. So you know not only that it works, but it's pretty good too. The seat section has height adjustable PU leg locks. You can completely remove the seat section by unscrewing the custom knob that features on many of the ATX attachments now. They're so easy to operate and you'll be surprised at how tight you can secure them by simply using your grip. Now, with the seat out of the way, you can access the lower pulley. It also has custom ATX footrests, which is another nice touch, which makes the lat section of this machine as good as any standalone lat machine. Now, I know the 100 kilo weight stack may seem like an issue for some, but I've done a video on this previously. But please remember that this weight stack is 1-to-1 ratio. Make sure you watch the video on weight stacks before you strike the machine off your list. Now, moving on to the cable crossover. The reason why this machine is not as smooth as other cable machines is simply because there's a lot going on. To get both height adjustable dual pulleys running off a single weight stack, with this layout, you need to make some design compromises. The cable route is more complicated than you ideally want. This results in more pulleys and cable that you have to move, which all end up adding to the resistance. So in regards to the review that I mentioned previously, changing from pulleys from aluminium to nylon won't make a difference. I'll do a video on this topic later, but if you think they will make a noticeable difference, please come into our showroom. Matt will blindfold you, then spin you around a couple of times, and I guarantee you that you will not be able to feel the difference on machines in the showrooms that have both aluminium or nylon pulleys. They're both smooth. The resistance is only noticeable on lighter weights, mainly just the 5 kilo header plate. When we first set up the machine, I could really feel the drag, and then on the concentric, the header plate wouldn't move back freely, but over time it has improved dramatically, and it'll continue to keep loosening up over time. The PowerTech shape system had similar issues. I love that machine, but Americans would trash it on the bodybuilding.com forums. The weight carriage without weight could stick halfway up the guide rails if you just threw the machine together. But all you needed to do was, as I would say, give it a tune-up, twist the guide rails, check all your levels, and add a bit of lube, and the machine would run sweet, especially after giving it a good wear-in with loads of reps. These new machines are much more forgiving when you build them, so all you need to do is make sure your cable path is running correctly on the pulleys, make sure your pulleys rotate freely, they haven't been over-tightened, and then give the guide rails a lick of machine oil, then just get on there and bang out loads of reps. Now, we'll show you some tips in another video on how to tune up a cable machine. Now, when using one pulley on the cable crossover, the resistance is 2-to-1. Now, when using two-handed movements like cable flies, the resistance is 1-to-1. The pulley housings swivel freely, but are a fairly basic design, but they do the trick. They have 18 height adjustment positions, so your number of exercises and variations are massive. Now, in a design revision, ATX added laser cut holes onto the uprights, so you can use some of the ATX power rack attachments. This is just another way you can squeeze more out of your space. The storage hooks are something that you don't know you need until you actually have them. I didn't know how good they were till I actually started using them, and it just makes storing your cable attachments, swapping them during a workout so much easier. Yet another way to save your space in your gym. Another addition to the machine was the flat chin-up bar. Not only does it add a lot more exercises, it has also improved stability. Now, who is this machine for? This is pretty simple. If you want a quality lat machine, Plus, you'd also like to have some dual handle adjustable pulley action, but have bugger all space. This is the machine. Was one of your very few options. It is that simple. If you want a commercial functional trainer or cable crossover, then go and buy a functional trainer. But it won't have the lap pull down and it won't fit as nicely as this does into a corner. But if you have a room, whether it be in your home, garage or studio, and you want a quality piece of equipment that offers plenty of exercises that won't take up space, then this is perfect for you. If you had an open area in your gym that used the floor space for yoga, group classes, martial arts, etc., you can just chuck this into the corner. Wall-mounted equipment is great for space saving, but you must drill into walls. Not everyone is able to or comfortable doing this. Now, this machine actually has a narrower profile on the sides than many wall-mounted machines. Now, personally, I've got access to better Smith machines than the MPX 500. I've also got access to better lap pull-downs and functional trainers. But I'm going to keep going on this program while I'm still enjoying it and still making progress. Weight training is simply making small gains on quality exercises. Not only am I making progress on this program, but I'm really enjoying it too. So if you're tight on space and have a spare corner, this thing has been specifically built for you. Now, I just want to add, when I'm comparing cable smoothness, I'm comparing it to things like the Trinity Tower, the MXL 700 Monster, and from the feedback we've had from customers that come in the store and bought those machines, like they're blown away by how smooth they are. So when I say this machine is not as smooth, I'm comparing it to the very best. Now, the reason why I say this is because although I sell the equipment, I like to be honest and upfront with my reviews purely because I don't want a customer, in the middle of Western Australia buying this saying, "Oh, Sam, I thought this thing would be, as smooth as this or that." I'm telling you now, it's not as smooth as the Trinity Tower, which is the duck's guts. But from my experience training on this thing, it's smooth enough for me. I've enjoyed it. And I know that if you follow the same and have the same principles, that you will enjoy it as well.